I can see it now. We'll have an airship in like a year. We'll have an airship in like a year, y'all. They gave us a community. We'll have an airship. We'll be conducting ether out the ionosphere. Man, they better stop playing with us. Welcome back. On today's video, we're going to be diving into the most mysterious and strange TikToks nobody can explain. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's dive in. Did they catch a possible cryptid or skinwalker on camera? Let's take a closer look.
It seems to be traveling on all fours, low to the ground, with what looks like a light emanating directly from its head. The movement is fluid but unnatural. It doesn't look like a dog or any animal you'd expect to see crossing a suburban street at night. The uploader herself seemed genuinely unsettled by what her camera captured, and no clear explanation has been confirmed.
It's almost like the headlight popped out of nowhere, because you didn't see it at first when it was walking like a man. But as soon as he aims at the ground, it's almost like he's wearing like a headlamp. How strange. And for someone to be acting like this at night, that is even stranger.
In Russia, there's like a meeting of like all these elites and movie producers.
Oh, yes.
The lights go out temporarily.
And their little eyes.
Eyes are glowing.
Imagine the lights going out in the 80s and just like everyone's eyes are gone.
Yeah, the band left.
Yeah.
I saw like all these glowing eyes, and it wasn't everyone. It was only like 6 or 7 in the room.
And they were doing a show for like the elites or something, weren't they?
Yeah. In Russia, there's.
Are you kidding me? Humans' eyes aren't supposed to glow like that. What type of nocturnal draconian creatures they got going on in Russia? Is this possible sighting of a skinwalker? Did they actually catch a skinwalker on footage? Let's take a closer look, gang. Mr. Stinky Breath. Whoa, I gotta get you more treats, buddy.
Yep. Done. Good boy. Yes, here we go.
Swing fast, dodge smart, and survive crazy ragdoll duels against relentless enemies. Each victory makes you stronger and closer to glory. Play anywhere, anytime, and show who rules the arena. Play now on playgama.com.
That had to be a deer, right? It looks like a deer, but that deer is not afraid of him. It's not running. Normally when you see a deer in the woods, it starts taking off when you get that close, but it's kind of like looking at him crazy. I don't know, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Did you know in Highland Park has an underground pedestrian tunnels?
Do y'all know about these tunnels in Detroit? These ones are on the corner of 2nd and Cortland in Highland Park. These tunnels date back to the 1920s, and apparently these tunnels were created during the automobile boom, and they were used so that the children could cross the street safely. This one's blocked off. I want to fly my drone down here, but I don't want it to get lost. I want to go down there. If somebody wants to go down there with me, let me know. We can go together. Do y'all know about these tunnels in Detroit?
That sounds like a cool little side mission. But it's a little small space, though. I'll be worried about spiders and whatever type of creatures is in there. Like them skinwalkers crawling in there at night, taking refuge.
I want to talk to you about a thing called scotopic vision. Scotopic vision is also known as dark adaptive vision. Dark adaptive vision happens to everybody in about 5 minutes, and red, the color red, doesn't ruin it. Any other color ruins it. Okay, so if you're walking in the night with your homies and you want to make sure you can see as much as you can around yourselves, a great option would be to make sure that your lights are red, if at all possible.
Yes, sir.
Make sense?
Yes.
I want to talk to you about a thing called scotopic vision.
Scotopic vision. Hold on, guys. I gotta get my scotopic vision on. It's nighttime. You learn a cool new word every day on this show, don't you? Scotopic vision. This is 144 hertz. Fibonacci frequency. A sound for manifestation, nature's sacred geometry. Did you feel that? That woke me up a little bit. That did a little something, didn't it? Drop it in the comments below. That did a little something. Your chakra network is off. You got to get it aligned.
Have you guys ever wondered what those interdimensional beings look like that those people in World War II saw through those Dicinian glasses? I've always been super curious, and these photos are a representation of what those people saw. You can see that they're eerily similar to something, but yet so far away from anything that we can comprehend. The way that these images were produced is through something called energy vision. Supposedly, this energy vision captures photos of entities in different dimensions. Listen to this.
In the vast and often mysterious world of scientific research, few discoveries capture the imagination as profoundly as the concept of entities that exist outside of our realm. Dr. Daniel Nems, a pioneering scientist and researcher, stands at the forefront of this intriguing field. Nems is renowned for his creation of an innovative energy device known as energy vision, which, according to his claims, can photograph these mysterious entities. Dr. Daniel Nems is a scientist with a background in quantum physics and energy research. Nems devoted his career to exploring the intersections of energy, matter, and dimensions beyond our conventional understanding. He soon became fascinated by theories of parallel dimensions and alternate realities. Oddly enough, despite publishing these findings, there is a scarcity of information available on him, and the majority of his work has been wiped from the internet. As a result, some have suggested that shortly after sharing these discoveries, he vanished. Nems' interest in this research was partly inspired by the pioneering work of theoretical physicists who posited the existence of multiple dimensions beyond the familiar three-dimensional space.
What is this then? What is it supposed to be? Could this be a real image of a draconian? Reptilian? Look at the black eyes.
Driven by curiosity and a desire to push the boundaries of human knowledge, Nems began experimenting with novel energy devices aimed at detecting and interacting with these unseen realms. Energy vision, the groundbreaking device developed by Daniel Nems, represents the culmination of years of research and experimentation. The device combines principles from quantum mechanics, electromagnetism, and advanced imaging technology to purportedly capture images of entities existing in dimensions parallel to our own. Energy vision consists of a sophisticated array of sensors and emitters that generate and detect specific frequencies of electromagnetic energy. These frequencies are theorized to resonate with the energy signatures of these beings, making them visible to the device's sensors. The captured data is then processed by advanced algorithms to produce visual images, which are displayed on a high-resolution screen. The device operates by emitting a controlled burst of energy into a defined area, and then scanning the area for any anomalies in the energy field. According to Nems, these mysterious beings interact with these energy fields in ways that are detectable by energy vision sensors. The resulting images reveal shapes and forms that do not correspond to any known physical entities, suggesting the presence of beings from other dimensions. If the device's capabilities are validated, the implications for science and our understanding of the universe would be profound. The ability to photograph these entities would provide tangible evidence for the existence of parallel dimensions, supporting theories that have long been speculative.
This breakthrough could revolutionize fields such as physics, cosmology, and even interact with these energy fields in ways that are detectable by any.
I always thought they used CERN or something to like make the veil kind of like thinner so they will be able to see these type of dimensional beings. Are they demons starting to manifest? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What is going on with these interdimensional beings? Like this one almost looks like an alien, like the traditional Greys.
They are human women as part of families during the day, but at night they transform themselves in a variety of ways to go about their evil deeds. A Tlawilpuchi is born and not made. Once you are born a Tlawilpuchi, you remain that way, and it has been said that it is a curse that neither God nor the devil can erase. They are human women as...
Oh my goodness, what was that? Golem mixed with Pocahontas? It's like a Golem / Pocahontas hybrid. What on earth is going on? Lord, that has to be a grouper, right? It's a giant grouper. It's almost as big as this dude he's feeding. You gotta be careful, buddy. That thing looks like it's bigger than you. Unbelievable. Almost like you can jump in the water and give it a hug. Or ride it. Don't do that. Get your Aquaman on.
Plug your eardrums. You can't stop the sound. A lot of the targets are tricked into believing evil aliens have abducted the brain. Plug your eardrums. You can't stop the sound. A lot of the targets are tricked into believing evil aliens have abducted the brains. Humans.
They're tricked.
Yes.
How are they tricked?
They're told.
By who?
By the voices. A lot of these, I think, that you hear about on the news. They hear voices.
And we've learned that Cruz told the BSO detective that he heard a demon in his head.
And police now say he also heard voices.
He heard voices in his head. The scripts, they're called. And they're meant to confuse, very derogatory. That's just typical breakdown. Why would you want to break down the ego of that person to rebuild it? So this gets into creating Manchurian candidates.
Police have released video made by the man who Florida State University.
In Project Soulcatch, I referred to Myron May as a psychobomb. They didn't care who the target was. They were just trying to make him explode and do something bad. He was a lawyer, trained there. His reasoning why he needed news publicity to make sure people understood this was real. And he left the video testimony.
As sick as this may sound, I've even had stalkers follow me into church.
He believed government stalkers were harassing him and using a direct energy weapon to hurt him.
Gang stalking. We just covered that. If you didn't see my video of gang stalking, watch the one before this.
But he gave out 7 packages in the mail, and the FBI intercepted them.
What were in these packages?
Just information. Just information.
If these people do explode and do something bad like this, there's absolutely no way to prove that there has been any sort of manipulation to the brain. In this guy's case, he talked about it. I mean, obviously, he talked.
But it was covered up.
The way they write the article, he sounds like a crazy person.
Yeah, you can't plug your eardrums. You can't stop the sound.
If I plug my eardrums, the voices just get louder.
You asked, so it's happening.
God's ID, open source. This thing feels like a spy satellite simulator. Click on absolutely everything and you can track it. Turn on clear mode and suddenly you're wondering, holy crap, is this? You asked, so it's happening. God's eye view, open source. This thing feels like a spy satellite simulator. Click on absolutely everything and you can track it. Turn on FLIR mode and suddenly you're wondering, holy crap, is this real? The thing is, the aesthetics are obviously having a little bit of fun. Make it feel like you're in a spy thriller movie, but the data underpinning it is actually real. So what you're looking at is the real-time location of vessels, planes, satellites, and so much more. Let's get into it. You asked, so what's happening?
No way they gave this access to the general public. That is insane. That didn't hit like that pine cone one we listened to earlier, but I get it. But that definitely didn't hit like that last one we listened to. Speaking about scotopic vision, what's going on with Gary, Indiana? Is there any update?
We just ain't got no help over here.
All right, this one was 18 hours ago, so it looks like, I believe some people should be getting most of their power today. According to the research we were doing, they said the 25th. Today's the 25th, so check in. Let me know in the comments below. If you're in that area or you know anything, let us know.
We just ain't got no help over here. We ain't seen no city officials out here. You know, we need more than just people out here shaking hands and cutting out. There's people in the house, stuck in the house that haven't eaten for days. This side gets resources when it comes to property, when everybody wants the property over here. But when it comes to help, we don't get any help over here. I don't see any government resources being spent in our neighborhood. We got a lot of elderly out here. We're able to fully function, but we got jobs. We can't physically continue this for the next month or so, or however long the lights are off. We need people physically checking on these elderly people that are in their homes, that can't get out. They're sitting in the hot air every day.
Top comment says nobody thought Project 2025 was real. What is Project 2025? Let's punch it in. And one of you guys said something extremely sorry.
We just ain't got no help. We ain't seen no city officials.
One of you guys was like, Chuck, man, they might be trying to make one of them 15-minute smart cities in Gary, Indiana. When you said that, I was like, man, you might have a point. Hooking up the smart cities directly to them data centers, man. We seen the long tour of them building that IBM station that looked like them damn camps. You know, those didn't look like no damn data centers within that building. It looked like they had some, like, 20 huge human tents going on. I don't know. It was crazy. If you didn't see that video, I highly suggest you watch it. I put everything I had into those videos. One was an hour long, wasn't it? What's a record for Dark Waters 9? What was we talking about? Oh, yeah. Project 2025. What is it?
Back in 1997, a group of futurists funded by a
quick disclaimer. We're reacting to the recent articles, public reports, and videos about the power grid, data centers, and related concerns. We are not claiming that any specific blackout or event is guaranteed to happen. Some materials include expert opinions, worst-case scenarios, and unverified claims, which we'll discuss as such. Please review the original sources and draw your own conclusions.
Back in 1997, a group of futurists funded by a Washington, D.C. think tank and several three-letter government agencies wrote a book about what the world might look like in the future. And when you look at what they predicted back then, it's disturbingly accurate.
Now, this is the title of the book. 2025, Scenarios of U.S. and Global Society Reshape, there's that re again, by Science and Technology. You know what's so fascinating about this? It was published
27 years ago in the year 1997, and it was funded, well funded, by a Washington, D.C. think tank and three-letter government agencies. But here's the thing. 1997, 27 years ago, and they write a book about a 500-page book about what the world's going to be.
A 500-page book filled with dozens of predictions.
And I've seen clips of that video before, but this looks like a deep analysis, guys. Get you something to drink and lock in. I believe we're about to go deep on this one.
According to some estimates, nearly 90% of them seem to match what eventually happened. And the ones that haven't happened yet may be closer than we think. Because the remaining predictions go into things like World War III, mass starvation, global crisis, and much more. But instead of me going through the list, let's hear this gentleman explain it himself. Because this is actually how I first became aware of it, while watching one of his videos.
Okay, you ready for the list? Fast mutating.
Buckle up. This isn't your average race. In Mega Ram Stunt, you'll launch luxury cars off impossible ramps, pull off jaw-dropping flips, and race at breakneck speed. Every track pushes your limits. Every stunt cranks up the adrenaline. Think you can handle it? Prove it. Play now on playgamma.com.
G-Fiber helps our businesses run. Within the small business community, reliability is super important, and G-Fiber has been essential. We've never had to resolve any issues because there haven't been any issues. It's been amazing.
Genetically developed smart IDs. 1997, and this is, you can do the word search and research yourself. They predicted, not 2025, but by 2020, that people would be working from home virtually. Oh, come on. Listen, that's World War III, of course. Nuclear devices causing widespread contamination, nanotech devices, this stuff was never even heard of. Digital currency programs run by organizations like the World Health Organization for a global has yet to emerge. First printed February 1997.
The book is real. You can find it, you can read it, and these are not some far-fetched interpretations. Now, I would like to believe they're not right about everything, but we'll see. What we're going to focus on instead are the most important predictions that haven't happened yet, because we already know what took place. What's far more interesting is what this book says might still be coming. So let's start.
I want to now share with you some of the insights that these guys had way back in the mid-90s. Again, this is a well-connected think tank in D.C. They are funded and engaged with the wealthy corporations, the ruling class, the National Security Agency. And in 1997, they published this book, creatively titled 2025. And check this out. In the acknowledgments we read, our first thank you is to the sponsors, the people, and the organizations who made possible the original Project 2025 from which this book was created. What did they call it? It was called Project 2025. This book was published in 1997.
The project itself was led by futurist James Canton, an advisor in technology, national security, and economic forecasting. But what really raises eyebrows is the acknowledgments section of the book, because the authors openly thank the organizations that helped fund the original research behind it. Large corporations, technology companies, defense contractors, policy institutions. The kind of organizations that don't just observe trends, but often influence the direction of technology and policy. So the question becomes, were they simply educated guesses, or were they looking at plans already being discussed behind closed doors? Either way, let's take a look at what they predicted.
10 things to expect if this Project 2025 from the mid-90s turns out to be correct about the remaining items that have not yet transpired. And before I list them, I want to remind us, these are not just, throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. I mean, it's like 90% track record here. But, and they may not be right about all these either, but here we go.
Brace yourselves, because if what you're about to hear ever becomes reality, things could get very ugly. Let's hope they got this part wrong. But listen to this.
They said we will have World War III. A nuclear device causing widespread contamination. Additionally, cyber attacks, or in their world, computer-based socially significant crime, such.
Guys, real quick, the scary part about number 2, and again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. We're just diving into these theories. You got to kind of think about when the power grid is at its max, and we can't no longer handle data centers. It's a possibility that they might be going nuclear or using uranium to power these data centers. I believe in Taiwan, NVIDIA is trying to open up their nuclear center. Let's look it up real quick so you guys know I'm not just pulling this out of thin air.
Back in 1997, a group of future was funded by...
I'm about to get...
There's no way you can move away from Taiwan Semi anytime in the near future. When you think about iPhones, the core processor of every iPhone comes out of Taiwan Semi. Every AMD chip, so a lot of our server chips, a lot of our PC chips, they all come out of Taiwan Semi. NVIDIA, so all their AI chips are founded at Taiwan Semi. You can go down the list, Qualcomm, every smartphone modem. And so, no, we can't live without Taiwan Semiconductor. And when you think about how much money Taiwan Semi has been spending on equipment, 30, 40 billion a year in terms of CapEx, you can't replace it even if you can duplicate their technology. And so Taiwan Semi is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Taiwan is the epicenter of the AI revolution. This is where the chips come, packaging comes. This is where the systems are made. This is where AI supercomputers were created. The number of partners we work with here in Taiwan, incredible.
Okay, but what about this Taiwan nuclear center?
Big news out of Taiwan this morning. The country may save its nuclear power plants. Taiwan's 3 nuclear power plants operated from the 1980s until the 2020s helped to power its industrial rise and created the semiconductor industry that we all know it for today. There was a 4th one under construction in the early 2010s. But then the Democratic Progressive Party, currently the ruling party in government, came to power and were very anti-nuclear and started shutting down the existing nuclear plants and canceled the Lungmen plant that you see there in the north by Taipei. This is former President Tsai Ing-wen. She was the president up until earlier this year and was very anti-nuclear. Her party had been anti-nuclear since its founding in the 1980s and sort of continued with that politics for a long time, but it was after the Fukushima disaster in March 2011 in Japan that they really adopted a firm stance of phasing out all of the existing nuclear plants in Taiwan. So you may be wondering, why does this matter? Well, unless you've been living under a rock, then you should know that Taiwan is pretty central to the geopolitical conflicts that we see right now between the United States and China. And by making itself more vulnerable to Chinese blockade by becoming very dependent on imported natural gas, which has to be brought in by barges basically every week, and which they have a very limited storage capacity to keep on site, they are making it very possible for China to essentially cause mass blackouts and cripple the semiconductor industry there without even invading the island. This is not a theoretical concern. If you look at this article from August of 2022 in the shipping trade publication G Captain, you'll see that there were gas suppliers rerouting away from Taiwan or reducing their speeds on their way to Taiwan right after the Chinese started Taiwan Strait in response to then U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's controversial visit to the island.
Taiwan just shut down its last nuclear reactor. Is this how Taiwan is getting ready for war? You can see behind me, the streets are pretty much empty. Yesterday afternoon, it was an annual air raid drill. People have also received.
Taiwan is the epicenter of the AI revolution. This is where the chips come, packaging comes. This is where the systems are made. This is where AI supercomputers were created. The number of partners we work with here in Taiwan, incredible.
Hey, but what about this Taiwan Nuclear Center?
With Robinhood Gold, you can instantly start earning 3.35% APY with high-yield cash. Plus, get a 3% match on eligible contributions into your IRA. These deals won't last forever. Sign up with Robinhood Gold now and get the first 30 days free. Then, it's just $5 a month.
Yeah, Dad, get out. Babe, I got 1 minute left.
Big news out of Taiwan this morning. The country may save its nuclear power plants. Taiwan's 3 nuclear power plants that operated from the 1980s until the beginning of the 2020s helped to power its industrial rise and created the semiconductor industry that we all know it for today.